Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are going to talk about some very, very interesting stuff. I mean, we have seen Bitcoin moving. We have seen some altcoins moving big time, like 50, 70, 100% moves. But NFTs, we didn't really see any reactions yet, and it's very early in the cycle. But is the NFT market still healthy? Is it still a point where we could say NFTs are going down? Is the bottom in, or are we already coming up on NFTs? So that is one question that I want to answer, or try to answer today. And we're also going to look at the seasons, when to expect which of Bitcoin season, altcoin season, NFT season. And we are obviously going to talk about Ecomi and Veve, because there are some updates, there are some rumors, there are some things that needs to be put into perspective. So if you're interested in that, then look out later today for some timestamps, but everything else right after the video, right after the intro. Why do I say always right after the video? Right after the intro. So good morning, every one of you. A couple of people are already here in the chat. How are you doing, guys? It's a sunny morning, but it's already feeling very end of yearish, so to say. So guys, do me the favor and smash up the like button right now to get the stream out to more people. Maybe NFTs are really not the most attractive thing, but I think it's important that we talk about it before things are happening, way before, just that we know what's going to happen. Also, subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss these morning live streams, and tick the little bell to always get notified whenever I upload a video. And I have seen that you guys liked the smaller video updates as well, so I'm going to put out more of those when there is something to talk about. Michel Vish is here. Good morning, PH. And Jordan Stout has already put this into the chat here before the stream. Let's hope the NFTs recover, because OMI is limping along. Long-term holders of OMI are reluctant to buy more and may even be selling. It doesn't show a lot of faith in the Veve team. Yeah, I mean, we have this discussion since 2 years, and we will really see what the next cycle can bring for Ecomi and Veve. Good morning, Philippe. What is going on? How are we feeling on this Monday morning? It's windy, so when I look out the window, unfortunately I cannot turn the camera to the window. But it's sunny, it's windy, and Bitcoin is moving sideways. So we will see what's going on. But let's jump right into the content here. So I want to start this off with metrics this time, because there's not really big news to talk about. Hey Motili, what's going on? Good morning, Motili. So this one here, I think it was interesting. I think in general this site is pretty good. So this CryptoCon, right? I don't mean to get everybody riled up, but the monthly stochastic never gets this high unless something great is about to happen for Bitcoin. So what we are looking at is a stochastic RSI. And whenever the stochastic RSI hits this line, this almost 100% here, and is about to reverse, usually a big rally is following, a big rally overshoot. We see it here at this red arrow. We see it here at this red arrow, parabolic movement. We are also seeing it here. And right now, guess what? We have hit it once again. There you go. There you see it, right? Here we have hit it once again. And so the bounce back is really when you bottom, or when you're about to bottom on this RSI. And yeah, we just hit this line. So The orange line is still following, but we are hitting it, right? So could we see the parabolic move, or a move of, I mean, this, I think it's a monthly chart. Could we see a move out of Bitcoin that is looking like this, like, I don't know, green? I mean, this next month doesn't have to be super green, but we have like 6 more green months after this arrow here, and after this one we had one red and then a little bit sideways, and then we go, right? So even if November is a little bit reddish, we could still have a big move before us, right? I mean, the whole November on 34 to 35,000 would still be possible according to this. So yeah, Justin Asil says, time will tell if Omi is successful. Yeah, time will tell, and we will closely observe. But I think this one is interesting to look at. So the next one here is that also Michael Saylor apparently has the same metrics in front of him, because he just loaded up big time on Bitcoin. Michael Saylor foresees Bitcoin's value potentially increasing 10x, citing the 2024 halving event, spot Bitcoin ETFs, and reduced selling pressure from miners. So he is looking at this reduced selling pressure that is actually coming from probably also the halving, but already right now miners are not selling too much into the market apparently. So these are a couple of factors, right? What he didn't even mention is election year and the Fed pivot that could be happening across the year. So maybe in 8 months or so, the Fed could be pivoting. But we will see it. So I'm going to fly over these really quickly because we want to talk about more. Like, we have looked at Bitcoin. Let's look also at altcoins, right? So here, just from Mustache, says ETH BTC is touching a line that has now not been broken for 6.5 years, 2017, 2020, and 2021. This was the best time to be invested in altcoins. Wouldn't bet against history. So according to this analysis, and this is the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation, right? So that means that whenever this is going down, Ethereum was not moving as much as Bitcoin. So when this goes down, because it's Ethereum against Bitcoin, whenever this is going down, Bitcoin is rallying more than Ethereum, right? And then there is a turning point where Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin, and that is usually when Ethereum is moving big time. That is usually when Bitcoin is also losing against, or this is when altcoins are moving heavily, right? When Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin. So when this happens, these rallies happen. So we have here the 2020, 2021 rallies, and it doesn't even look that big. It just has to be an outperformance of Bitcoin, and that will rip up altcoins massively. So there could be an argument made based on this chart that throughout November right now, accumulating altcoins could be actually a big deal. This is not financial advice from me. I'm just looking at the chart, giving my thought. But for me, that means that I want to, as long as I have some altcoins still sitting there and not taking off, I want to be getting some altcoins right now, just in case that the whole thing just already starts flying, right? So obviously many people are DCAing into altcoins right now. There might be some whale moves, and that is where we also look at whale watching channels and so on. We have seen some big whale moves before Chainlink moved. So obviously it's also valid to look at the chart of your altcoin if it forms kind of a chart pattern to break out, and then you can make a decision. But what about NFTs? And that is really something that I want to talk about, and I will once more pull up some metrics for that. So NFT trading volume rose by 35% in October. And it doesn't feel like that right now in Veve, for example, but it's actually something interesting, right? So the NFT market witnessed a rise in October, and the challenges in the sector obviously remain. But look at this. So the volume was before 306 million in the NFT space, and now it's 405 million in October, right? So also the NFT volume is coming back here, because $100 million more is actually a big deal. So yeah, we see here Yuga Labs and Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example. All that stuff is going up. And why is that happening? Because we have seen Bitcoin not topping out, but moving a little bit sideways, profits flowing into altcoins, profits from some altcoins flowing into NFTs. That here is a micro view of what happens during the different seasons. And before I go into anything further, let's look at this. I have brought this up once a couple of months ago, but I want to bring it up more, because I believe, maybe the chat can stay here, so I believe that almost no channel is bringing that up. Yeah, let's leave this here. So what you're seeing is the search volume on Google Trends for Bitcoin in blue, for Ethereum in red, and for NFTs in yellow. And you see here, when I slide through the lines, that on our previous bull market, the NFT search volume was less than 1, basically not existent. And then Ethereum was not very interesting. And then together, basically, with Bitcoin moving and having the first, basically the first top, Ethereum volume was still pretty low. And then on the second top here, Ethereum volume was pretty high. It's 25, 26, the highest. And the funny thing is, whenever with the search volume spikes the most, is actually when Bitcoin has already topped out. So that is not people that are doing research and getting ready for the rally. That here is people that are Googling what the heck has happened to the Bitcoin price. So if you take the absolute maximum peak and look that price up, you can actually see that is when something big has already happened for Bitcoin. So and you can see that it's probably a good time to buy when these search volumes are very, very low. And not financial advice, I know, but we can use this to our advantage. That's what I'm going to say. So what we see here, though, is that when Bitcoin, let's look at this date quickly on the Bitcoin chart. So 3rd to 9th of January is the first peak here on Bitcoin of 2021, right? So let's get into our weekly chart and look at the January of 2021. Look, that right there, 21st, is right here when we first had our first pause after the massive parabolic move, right? So that is when search volume was the highest, and then the second move probably was here, right, in April or so. Let's see, where is it? There. So the second one is, no, it's actually in February. So it's when Bitcoin reaches the next peak, and then we have one more in 16th to 22 of May. So the Bitcoin peaks, the search volume peaks here, February. Yeah, that's when we hit the top. So our peaks in search volume are when this and this happened, and then one more here, up here. So when one more rally happened, these are the big peaks, right? In the Bitcoin search volume. Okay, so and then Ethereum has the biggest peak here, and I use this as a proxy for altcoin season, right? So Bitcoin tops out here around these months here, and then this is the big altcoin season that follows only when Bitcoin tops out. There is an altcoin season, no matter what, when Bitcoin rallies, but when it tops out, And we see it here. Ethereum basically has this search volume topping out on the 9th to 15th of May. And then you see here that until then, basically until Bitcoin tops out, also there is no NFT search volume whatsoever, and then it comes up when basically the altcoins rally. It has a little bit of a down even, because all money flows into altcoins, and then only then, when the excitement in Bitcoin is long over and the altcoins have rallied, then here you see NFTs are coming up. Now, where we are right now is also interesting. Here we are right now here. So we have seen just our first blip in Bitcoin up to 25. Look at this. When have we been before at 25? At the 15th to 21 of November. Look at this. 25 is right before the 15th of November. And where we are? 6th of November right now. Let me get this out of the face. So 6th of November, we are at the same search volume as we are right now. So here is the peak. Now we are back to 20. So we're somewhere here, right? Look, correction back to 21. Maybe we are somewhere here. I don't know. But Ethereum and NFT, like altcoin, is on a search volume of 2. NFT is on a search volume of 1. So that is when basically we are still, yeah, here, look at this. This is perfect, right? So also here, I think it was probably, yeah, so on 2 and 1, look, it's the same. It's the same. NFTs, you see it always in this window, right? 2 and 1. Here. Again, we're at the same 20, 2 and 1. And here we have been at 21, 2 and 1. So it's almost incredible how this, basically how this works, that the same level of excitement causes the same Google trend results in terms of total, right? They always mark the highest top as a 100. The highest search volume ever is a 100. So probably when Bitcoin rallies and tops out somewhere during the next year, probably there will be a new 100, right? So yeah, or at least when the massive rally happens. So right now we have just seen the first blip and coming out of this depression phase here for all those 3 indicators. And we will look at it for a couple of months to a couple of months, right? So we don't have to look at this every week. And we have last looked at this, I think, in, what was it, August or so, or maybe July, when we were in the deepest bear market. I outlined that we are basically that we are here somewhere at 16 or so in a very low point. This could imply buying Bitcoin and so on. Yeah, let's look at these indicators together. But that's really one of the most important ones. So let's do some market watch and then look at charts quickly. So we are still largely positive for altcoins. A couple of altcoins are correcting at the moment. Also on the weekly, like Render, that has pumped before. And obviously altcoins like Ecomi. Let's look at the top 200. So also here, look at this. Ecomi and Floki are the only ones that are correcting, and FTX token are the only ones that really correcting hard. There are a couple of ones that are slightly red, but Ecomi is really the worst performer of the entire top 200. Yo, what's going on? VV Wheels says, good morning, homies. And then we have, oh, the chat is still up here. Let's go. Then the Luke is here. Good morning, Luke. Thank you for supporting the channel so much, Luke. Blaze is here. Good morning, all. And Green Lantern is here. Good morning, hodlers. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of hodlers, if you want to become a rare hodler, that's by becoming a channel member to this channel. So then, yes, then you will be minted on my intro screen. I forgot to shill this, so there we go. Anyways, you see here Osmosis leading the chart together with Arc. Actually, Arc, you can see Arc is here. Look at this. So here are the bubbles. Also Blur. We have talked about Blur as NFT market space. So people are investing into Blur right now, into the token. It's one of the only marketplaces that you can buy a token. Did you watch the last video of Cavell Anderson? I actually only saw that I got cavelled, but I didn't see the last one, I think. What is the last video of Cavell Anderson? I got cavelled, that I saw. But let me check on the phone actually, because we want to. What is the video? What is the last video of Cavell? Ecomi allegedly trying to rewrite Veve history, not deliver promises. No, I haven't seen that yet. Okay, I will look at it after the channel. But do you think it's worth watching? Do you think there is anything of substance on it? What is happening? So yeah, altcoins, right? So we see here really that altcoins having a good moment at this moment in the cycle, but this is nothing compared to what's going to happen, and it's already happening. You know, the altcoins are moving. There could be a pullback and everything looks red again for 1 or 2 weeks, but overall there will be a big phase of altcoins doing a 10% here, 5% there, 30% there, and so on. And slowly but surely the value will go up and up and up. And when people realize that some altcoins did already 500 to 1000%, they will ask if it's worth buying right now. And probably that's when we will get a lot of hate here when we say the time to buy was now. But we will see. Blaze says, love Ecomi and still holding a good bag, but happy diversified. Have diversified a while back. Yeah, that's a really good idea. We have been all advocating for that. This channel is all over the good altcoin projects. Look at this, beautiful here, Arweave and Chainlink right after, right above my window here. Good projects in my opinion. We have talked about Arweave here, so everyone of you knew it and is looking at some really nice gains right now. Let's talk about something that is truly interesting. Look at this. This is the DXY. And the DXY has just had a massive pullback. It's difficult. It's difficult with TradingView here. So there we go. DXY just had a big pullback. A big pullback. And let's go into the daily. So there we go. And usually, because someone has been asking, I will explain it once more. Someone has been asking, because I posted this, and by the way, we have to extend this line just to see how this gets broken here, right? So the DXY is the value, the strength of the dollar against other currencies in the world. So that the dollar is held against a basket of currencies. And this chart basically looks at if the dollar got stronger against those currencies or weaker. But there's not only the currencies that make the dollar stronger or weaker, it's also if investors, if people collectively are moving into the dollar, because moving into other currencies doesn't make as much sense, right? So that has been happening across this line here in this uptrend. And we have monitored this bearish retest and coming back, and then tried to break out again, and now we really fell off of a cliff. And that can have two meanings. Either all currencies in the world got stronger and the dollar weaker, or the dollar in itself got devalued, right, by massive printing, which is not happening because we're still in tightening. Or at least it's happening to save some companies here and there, or a lot of people moved out of the dollar into assets, and that could really be it at this moment. Because when a lot of people are allocating dollars into assets, for example, into Bitcoin, into stocks, into tech stocks like Nasdaq, S&P 500, gold, real estate, whatever they buy, you sell dollar. And that is what's happening. If you get euros, you sell dollar if you're moving out of the dollar, right? If you're buying Bitcoin with dollar, you sell dollar and acquire Bitcoin. And that is what is happening here. And that is what we want to see. And if you're looking at this from a broader perspective, you see that it holds still true what we said here, that this is overall a macro downtrend. And if you want to look at it in a very in a way that we have outlined it, also looked at last couple of months ago, is that if you are taking this chart, look at this, and you have these phases. This is our 2 bull markets ago. This is the last bull market. This is our bear market from now, and this is probably our new bull market. So what we want to see is this. The DXY basically was through the entire history of Bitcoin inversely correlated to the performance of Bitcoin. So it's bear market, bull market, bull market, bear market, bull market, right? Here bear market on the uptrend. So this is why we're looking at the DXY, just to justify myself once again. Let's see what Philippe said. He has some good points. IMO, deleting negative comments or old posts from Veve is not a good move. IMO, he's criticizing that Veve started to block people like OG Vault, and yeah, I don't know what happened. They unfollowed me as well, by the way, and I don't think that I really did something bad. I don't know if they maybe, yeah, just doing cleanup on social media. I have no idea, but yeah, I also don't care. If they want to follow me, they follow me. If they don't, they don't. I don't really care. Let me get this out of our face here for the analysis, or looking at the. I mean, there's not much to look at for Bitcoin. Large green candle means we probably should have a pullback somewhere. If we look at this from a daily perspective, it becomes a little bit more clear. I mean, the RSI is heavily overbought. What we could be seeing is that we are ranging a little bit until we fall to this line, retest, and then we go again. That is the more likely scenario. It looks a little bit like a rising channel, although this is sparking out. So right now there cannot go so much things wrong for Bitcoin, because even if we lose this level and find a retest here or something like that, we would be absolutely fine. So yeah, I don't think there's much to see here. I know everyone wants this to continue, but I don't know, guys. I mean, this looks strong to me. We are ranging. Maybe we are. I mean, if you always have to see the macro pattern on the weekly is just this little red blip, and even if we go for a bigger flag here, then we are already in January, right? I mean, this can happen. We want this to go on, to continue to rally, and more likely than not, we are going to. But this can still pose 1 or 2 red weeks here without any problem. So, and that is when probably maybe if we have whales taking profits here, if we have whales take profits here, then probably Ethereum is going to take off big time, because if we have like every move up is profit taking right now for whales, then you remember, where is it? Yeah, then you remember this from the beginning of the stream, where Ethereum could be up for a big move, right? And some traders are moving their parts of their Bitcoin right now into Ethereum, so we could be really up for a big move. And by the way, I forgot to show this to you, because when we talked about the indicators and so on, but look at the bottom. So the Bitcoin bottom feels already ages ago, right? The Bitcoin bottom was in November 2022. Yeah. And still, there are bears out there that are discussing that we have not bottomed yet. Okay, right. So let them. But it was 21st of November 2022. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this post from the European Central Bank. It was November 30, 2022. The apparent stabilization of Bitcoin's value is likely to be an artificially induced last gasp before the crypto asset embarks on a road to irrelevance. Oh my god. This is one for the history. So the ECB blog looks at where Bitcoin stands amid widespread volatility in the crypto markets. Yeah. Even Michael Saylor commented on this. Bitcoin is driving the digital transformation of money and banking. It is already an order of magnitude more efficient than traditional finance systems based on 20th century analog technology and growing exponentially smarter, faster, and more efficient each year. So they literally flooded the bottom. This is a week after we bottomed. This is in the midst of the absolute FUD. They wanted to get people out because the average newspaper reader is like, oh yeah, the central bank just put out a statement. So they must be right because, I mean, we are absolutely listening to everything that the government says. The government is always right. The party, no matter where you are, no matter by whom you are governed, is always right. So this is absolutely where Bitcoin gets irrelevant. This was literally these weeks there. So yeah, let's always listen to our government officials. Look, in Germany there was a guy, just to give you the fun story here. In Germany, I think it's even, I'm not quite sure, but I think it's even a quote from the current chancellor when he was Minister of Finance. I believe, I'm not quite sure, but they said something like this. They were asking, what is the best way for the German citizen to make the most of their money? And they was like, I believe it would be to leave the money in the bank account. It's like interest rate on bank accounts, saving accounts is like 0.0035% or so. It's like absolute crazy. And then you're like, okay, maybe even if you would have just put 100 euros into this, you would just have 1.3x your money, or actually 2 point something x your money. Yeah, so Felipe asks, how is your balance between BTC and ETH? Do you hold ETH? To actually, it's super small. So I have, so to talk about portfolio, I have right now, because altcoins rallied, my Bitcoin holding has shrinked in percentage to 43%. It was 50%, but now it is down to 43% or so. So some altcoins outperformed the overall big Bitcoin move. But Bitcoin is by far my biggest bag. And then there is the second biggest and third biggest are Vechain and Ecomi. So, hey Fred, what's going on? Hi PH, long time no joining your live. So then welcome back. Hope you can make it more often. I would love to see you here. So anyways, Bitcoin is 42%, and then I think Vechain and Ecomi are both like around 15 to 20% of the portfolio, depending on, I haven't looked. And then there's Chainlink and Arweave and so on. And actually, I was always like, I have to get Ethereum. But every time I am looking at, I have to get Ethereum, I am then thinking, oh no, let's get this altcoin, which will do 50x instead of 10x. Because for me, my safe position is Bitcoin, right? My safe position is Bitcoin. Even if all altcoins go to shit, right? Bitcoin will be there. So I'm thinking, okay, with the rest of my portfolio, with the other 50%, I want to have the chance to do that life-changing money. Bitcoin will always guarantee for me that I will be in the plus, right? If I have half of my portfolio in Bitcoin and Bitcoin does it 2 to 3x, I'm still good because I only need to double to stay in the zeros, and then everything else is profit. So I will always try to stay in that 50% Bitcoin range. But The altcoins, they are there for me to do the big returns. So I want to position myself into something that can do more than a 10x, and I actually don't believe that Ethereum can do more than a 10x. So for me, actually, it's not life-saving if I put $1,000 into Ethereum and it goes to 10,000, right? That's not life-changing money. At least for me, it doesn't change much. For other people, it is. So it depends on your situation. If you think that Ethereum, for example, there could be people that have $500,000 to allocate, right? So they would put maybe 250,000 in Bitcoin and then 250,000 in Ethereum, and that's it. And they're like, okay, let's do one part of that is going to $1 million, which is Bitcoin, right? From 250,000, like 4x, and one part is going to 2.5 million, a 10x on Ethereum. And that's a very safe play for them. But for me, or for someone who's sitting there with $100, it doesn't change so much. So the gamble factor is higher on the altcoins, but also the risk return is higher in both directions. The volatility is just higher, right? So Warriors King says, hey, I made bullish on URSR NFT comics. All variants actually, especially the low mint run grails. Veve NFTs have that special someone IMO. Yeah, so I'm also looking to, for here and there, I'm buying some gems because I want to buy a bigger Grail secret rare comic. So I'm just DCAing up and hoping that the comic is still coming my way, you know, so that I can buy a comic that I want. Just one of these grails to make a big return. Warriors King says, I know you love the SR books too. Yes, absolutely. I love the SR books, and I want to DCA up into gems to do my biggest comic book purchase. Would Otto von Bismarck buy Bitcoin if he were alive right now? I don't know if Otto von Bismarck would be there. Probably not, because he would have the central bank behind him to print some money. I don't know. Or actually, I think it was on gold standard at this time, so he just needs to load up more gold in the bank to issue more money. Yeah, so that was probably when the currency still was gold backed. Walrus King says 100% solid strategy holding Bitcoin. Yeah, I think Bitcoin cannot, you cannot miss, Bitcoin in your portfolio as a fail-safe, right? It's more or less a fail-safe in my opinion. And then also, besides that, I still have a couple of €1,000 in stocks, just because I don't want to completely be decoupled from the ETF stock market. Hey Energy, what's going on? Glad to have you here. And Warriors King says, sorry, special something killer. Good luck, bro. I don't know if I understand that last comment, Warriors. Jordan Stout says, now would be the time for OMI to hit some exchanges. It can go hand in hand with OMI tickets. I would love to see the real value of NFTs with an open window for crypto buying. Yeah, so let's maybe, oh guys, by the way, we have 30 people here. So 30 people, smash up the like button, guys. Smash up the like button as hard as you can. I want to see 30 likes there, because we have 30 people here, so at least 30 likes need to be there. So let's look at Ecomi when we're already here. So this is the weekly, and Ecomi just closed the week in red, but, and that's something that I also outlined and in the video that got cavelled, we have hit here support, in my opinion, and we should really not lose this support. There we go. Here, this line is support. I will show to you why. This support line has been where we fell, which has a lot of confluence, where we fell and then bearishly retested into our bear market accumulation zone. So we lost this, we bounced here, We lost this level, bearish retest, and then we had the accumulation zone. And we confirmed this back to support here. So it's really a very critical line between bull and bear. If we lose this line, I will flip bearish again. Sorry, that was behind the chat. Again, if we lose this line, if we lose this part here that I just outlined why it's so important, if we lose this, I would turn bearish. We are oversold, so we should coil up, and we really want to coil up and maybe breach this trend line here again to conclude our ABC correction, right? We have been talking about this since 2 months. ABC correction, bounce, hopefully break this to the upside, and off we go. Now, there's not much more to talk about this because I've outlined this in videos, in live streams. I still believe that our macro inverse head and shoulders pattern is in play unless we dip down deeper. I mean, we could technically still dip to this level, but then I would be really, really worried already. So we should really be holding that, right? Now, exchanges. There was something yesterday that I want to share with you. Someone posted this yesterday and I looked it up on Arkham Intelligence. And it's this is when you look at Ecomi, you can see here on Arkham, and let's get everything out of the way quickly. You can look at so you see the Ecomi price and you see daily volume and so on. You see the all-time high and the all-time low of the entire history. So you see a lot of metrics here for the Ecomi token. And by the way, here you also see that the Ecomi token had actually 3 years of absolute flatline, right, before it took off. Now we are flatlining again, and so there was something that someone on Twitter pointed out. Richard on Twitter pointed this out, that someone had made, or they had observed a deposit here to crypto.com. So here we see it, crypto.com deposit with this wallet address that you can copy out here. And what we see is that there is a deposit from Gate.io, 30,000 Ecomi tokens of the value of $23.35 to crypto.com wallet from Gate.io. What some people concluded is that this must be an exchange listing, but this wallet didn't really receive any, only ETH, right, before that on crypto.com. So it's really weird in my opinion, and I did post on Twitter, so if you want these very quick updates, then follow me on Twitter. I posted it on Twitter. Maybe we can, oh actually that we need later. Maybe we can go from this here. The David U villain here that Sharky posted. Maybe we can look at this. Yeah, there we go. So I posted this here, right? So if we look at this also, there was 2 years ago already, there was a move of OMI on crypto.com. So apparently and technically, OMI works on crypto.com, but just because there is a deposit to a move on Ethereum network for crypto.com deposit, that doesn't mean that Ecomi is going to be listed, right? Now back to our Arkham Intelligence. So I think it's worth observing this, but and I mean it would be really good if we would be listed on crypto.com, but it's not sufficient evidence. Although I still wanted to show this to you guys so that you guys are aware of this, right? Yeah, so that's what we see here basically. Far is here, Moin, yeah, welcome to the morning stream. And one connection, meaning one real utility between Veve and OMI has to be done before the new exchanges in MyMO. Yeah, I think so too. I think we need the bronze tickets, we need MCP to really have the narrative going on. What is interesting though also is, let's look at this quickly. VeveVerse has brought out the monthly analysis, and I think it's interesting. So first of all, active wallets is up by 6.7%, which coincides with our increased activity on the other NFT marketplaces. We have 680 new wallets since during that month. So wallet creation is up by 42%, which is really good. It's probably mostly because of the X-Men comic. If you look at Immutascan, you actually see that, yeah, here we see it as well. Wait, you cannot see it. But here on Immutascan, you can always check how many of these new wallet created are actually remaining or sticking with collectibles. And we see it here. We are up to 126, so 654,126. We have been at 151. So after every drop, there is a sell-off of some of these wallets, because some of these wallets are zero, they participate in a drop, then they sell. But overall, we are coiling up here once again. We have been in a bigger consolidation phase here right now, but in the last couple of days, we went from 75 to 126, so 50 new holding wallets. So that's okay. That's okay for NFT bear market, which we are still in my opinion. But the stats from VeveVerse here, they look interesting, right? Everything's up. Traders are up. Buyers are actually a little bit lower. Sellers are up by 4%. Drops 25 on the month. Minters are actually 18,000 on the month, so 18,000 minters. 136,000 tokens issued, so that's a decrease of 13%. Dilution is reversing, right? And then tokens issued minted ratio is 75%, where I believe that it is the measure of how many are really being sold of everything that, no, actually not, issued versus minted. Oh yeah, right, issues versus minted. So everything that has been put in the store versus what is being bought. That's a 25% that's not sold. That's okay, I think. And you have to see that there's still pretty big numbers, right? I mean, the issuance is 136,000, 100,000 has been sold. So that is interesting. And then yeah, so and then maybe one last thing here is I looked yesterday at the VVX tracker that is working again. And Vechain here is back to the 1,000 more or less collectibles per week, going to 34,000. Is by far the biggest whale right now. It's absolutely crazy what's happening here. Yeah, so we keep an eye on that if he is stopping at some point, but Vechain is absolutely accumulating here. So let me see. Jordan says, I believe the tickets were the start. I'm not a programmer. How challenging it is to plug OMI into the marketplaces or just allow gem buying with OMI. I'm completely baffled as to why this is not happening probably. At Felipe, I've been watching shitcoins with no project behind it. Search on speculation only. Vivi is ready for exchanges. Yeah, I think so too. I think Vivi is ready for exchanges, or better OMI with Vivi, right? I don't know why it's not happening, and I want to see it happen before and during the halving. Otherwise, I have to reduce risk on Ecomi, right? So, but that is one thing, and then last thing, a little bit of fun speculation right now, and it's just super funny. Is this one here? Someone posted this. Actually, I didn't see it. So this is a photo from the last around the Ecomi verse, and someone identified that there is actually a Pokemon. It looks like a Pokemon booster pack or something like this. Or not a pack, like a booster box, or like a bigger pack where packs are in, something like that. But something of Pokemon apparently. Yeah, I didn't see that for a longer time. We have seen one time before something from Pokemon in the background, so we can still be hopeful. But yeah, it's coming for sure. As the Mo collection says here. So that just as the last speculation. But yeah, I think so far nothing has really changed. We're still looking for these big utilities, and now is the phase pre-Christmas where we could expect something more. So guys, that's it for today. Make sure to smash up the like button. I mean, we have 30 people here. We can see that excitement is coming back to our streams, to the markets. I will do more of the short video updates whenever there's something very interesting to talk about. So stay tuned to this channel, subscribe to this channel for that stuff. Smash up the like button, tick the little bell. And guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. You enjoy your coffees, and I catch you tomorrow.